Don here. Okay, so we're back again with another live stream. I went ahead and stopped the previous one because it was showing to be poor health on the YouTube live page. Let me check my audio. Yep, audio's good and it's greening now. I rebooted all my routers just to be safe and I actually really decided to reboot the laptop because I remembered I have to change the router that it's on. I had to plug it into this router, so that works, but anyway, I just rebooted it for good measure. And so I think everything's okay now. It is. Lately, that thing, the player page seems to want to stop playing. It sits there and tries to load. It's doing that right now. And usually it doesn't quit doing that unless you reload it. So I reloaded it. Let's see. Now, if everything will work. Now, I did a speed test and I had good speed. It was 137 and down and 11 something up. So that's good. So I'm not sure what was causing the trouble. And I should be able to hear myself right now, and I don't. So is there something wrong? Oh, I reloaded the page. I was like, now what? Okay. When you reload the page, it always mutes. And I've been leaving it playing, the audio playing, and then just hitting the mute button. There's a button to mute and unmute the audio on the front of that laptop. Pretty convenient. So let's go to the desktop, and yeah, now it's working like it should. Yeah, here's my preview I'm always talking about, and see, you have to see that's not muted, but I can mute it. See, the sound's muted on the system. Hit that button and unmutes. It's unmuted already. It's not the refresh is not too good on the remote desktop. Sometimes it works pretty good. Sometimes it's slow. But anyway, I was able to use it yesterday, so hopefully it'll work good today. So I'm going to put this SD card in the let's see. I have a different amount of workspaces on here, and it gets me confused, but I don't want too many on here. I want to remind myself not to open up too many apps at once. So here's the the one that I installed from. I copied the unzipped folder from my backup drive. That was where I think I messed up. So I need to delete that. And yeah, see, this one's set, looks like it's set to default to delete. Thought I set it to move it to trash. I'm going to hit cancel and see what happens. I used the mouse that time. I don't know if that makes a difference. I'm going to just hit delete on the keyboard. No, it's just going to delete it. I guess I didn't set this this one in the Dell that way. This is the way it used to come by default. It's set to delete by default and not move it to trash. Let's see. Delete all. That's fine. That's what I want. I think I'll look in the settings. Since I've got everything else set that way, let's see about setting this one that way too, because I'm liable to mess myself up. Since I've got my new system, the one I'm using every day that way, it's coming up just fine on the... Sometimes if I switch windows and then switch back, it makes it come in. Let's see. That's the startup window. General. I can't remember where it's at. Let's look through all of them, I guess. I had trouble finding it a lot of times. Yeah, delete files, remove to trash. So let's leave it like that. And then, yeah, it's going to say it won't let me apply. Okay, there we go. It's just remote desktop. That's all it is, I think. Apply, and it should go away. Although it hasn't gone away over there on the laptop screen yet either. So, oh, you got to hit close then. Yeah. Now, that'll keep me in sync with everything. So, let's make both of these windows to the download folder. And that reminds me, in order to get that file, I need to get it off the Seagate backup drive. So I'm going to unmount it off of the Fedora system and put it on the, plug it into the laptop. Now it should be showing up. It's not showing up on the desktop. Well, it may just not be done mounting yet. Let's wait for a second. There we go. Okay, so now I should be able to go to it. 4.5 terabyte hard drive, downloads, and Linux distros and ISOs. Now I want that easy to boot zip file. I already tried. Let's see. Oh, I couldn't do it. I was going to do it in my Windows XP virtual machine. Let's go ahead and hit copy. I'll copy the zip file this time and not the already unzipped folder. I deleted those so I wouldn't mess up and do that again. It's already done. Oh, it's only 20 megabytes until it's unzipped. Okay, so don't think I need. Let's see if I do think I need anything else out of there. Etcher. That's another burner. And I was looking to see if it was a. I think it's a. I've never seen one with an extension of app image. Anyway, I'm not sure if it's a Windows application or Linux. That's what I was wondering. And then, oh yeah, when I downloaded those other tools, I think they're all goes back to the downloads folder. But I think the other tools are Windows tools anyway, and this is not. Well, actually, found out I have a Windows partition on this thing still. I didn't realize I'd left that on there. Oh, right there. Okay, yeah. EM Bootkit. Oh, that says demo. If I realized it was a demo, I probably wouldn't even have downloaded it. Yeah, that's Windows Composer. Yeah, that's okay. So none of this stuff is going to be needed or usable on the system. Okay, so now I'm going to unpack this, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in a folder because I don't know some of these things. You can tell usually, but it's much safer to just make you a folder, and then it doesn't, get a big bunch of junk. If it's in its own folder, then you won't have a unzipped. Never remember how to spell unzipped, but unzipped looks good to me. Now I'm going to rename it again because let's go into properties. Can't find the button. Okay, I don't want to, in the folder name, I don't really want, is it going to work? I think it's just, it went away. Went out of the spot. Get rid of the dots. With file names, the last dot, everything after the last dot will be supposed to be your file extension, but sometimes it'll catch the first dot and get you all mixed up. So anyway, getting rid of dots is kind of helpful for me. Okay, now easy to boot. Now we're going to go to File, Unpack. Now this will probably take a minute or two, but not too bad. So look over here at my preview for a second, make sure it's working while that's doing that. Yeah, I can just go. I'm controlling that machine, so I have to switch. So I realized I realized a while ago, whatever screen I'm looking at on the laptop is what's going to show up in the remote desktop, of course. So you got to think of that. So I just went ahead and did it from the remote desktop, and then of course hit the mute button on there to listen to it. But anyway, yeah, I see it'll take a couple of minutes, but that's not a real big deal. Yeah, my desktop just doesn't refresh real great, and it's really, I don't know why. I can't see why it would really not work as well as it used to. But just the other day, I was using this same viewer app on my Pt4 14 system, and it works so well. But it's a different server. I'm using KRFB because it's the only one with a graphic user interface to turn it on and off with anymore. And it's running Tiger VNC now. The other one is running, I think, Vino or something, Pt4 14. And I did install Vino on my newer systems. With Pt4 23, that's the first time I noticed I couldn't find well, it's a Genome app. It was for Genome 2 is what it was in originally. They never have ported that into Mate Desktop, evidently. And I don't know, I think, you do have to pay attention with remote desktop. I turn it on and off. I don't leave it on all the time anymore because, people can easily, doesn't just serve up on it depends on your ports on your router, but of course if they broke through your router and you were serving up remote desktop, then they can control your system and destroy it or do whatever they want. So it can be potentially really dangerous. So I just turn it on and off. But anyway, I've tried several times to follow the instructions, and you have to set it up in the command line now. You can't just go. I used to just be able to go to system preferences or administration, turn it on and off in the Genome 2 desktop. Now you have to do all this command line stuff. It's not installed to run. Even though you install the server, you still have to set it up. And I just had all kinds of headaches. I got it working a couple of times, and then on a next system I was on, I couldn't remember exactly how to do it. And if you're on a Debian or Fedora, it makes a difference in what commands work and what don't. So anyway, we'll get back to, we'll just leave it like that. I got to think about what I'm doing right now. Quit thinking about everything else. Okay, so I'm going to try to get back to the desktop if the remote desktop will cooperate here. Now it's not cooperating good. 1 minute it'll work great, next minute it won't. Okay, so I'm going to unmount the Seagate drive, and I'll leave it unplugged. And until I need it again in either system. I don't want to end up, breaking my backup drive. Okay, now we're back to square one. Well, not actually square one. I'm going to leave the formatting that I did, as it is. It automatically opens up the default browser, file browser, and when you plug them in, this one does. Not all USBs don't cause that to happen. But anyway, so I have a 5.2 gigabyte. Sometimes it shows up as 4.95 or 5.2 gigabyte volume. I made it as a 5 gigabyte volume because it said in the instructions on the Easy to Boot website, it said you should make another. Said small partition, doesn't matter what size. Said it didn't even have to be formatted. But I thought, well, I might as well make it about the size I would want for my own person. I always like to have some personal file space on here for just to use the stick as a file transfer stick, to carry it with me and stuff. So I made a 5 gigabyte, and then I left like 23, 24 gigabytes for the Easy to Boot, and that's already on there, and it got named Easy to Boot. But what I'm going to do now is reformat it. Now I may have to unmount it to do that. I think I will. So I don't think I'm not going to bother to delete the files that are on there or anything. I'll go through them right quick. See, right now I had already finished it, and I had put some Linux ISOs on there. Oh, this is the one I just did. I was like, what? Okay. So first thing is get in. Well, I want that, so I'll put it over here on the left. Okay. Now this is the one I'm going to run the installer from, and install it to the 25 gigabyte. It's named Easy to Boot now. It wasn't before. And so yeah, that I did that. I was just doing it for the. Okay, see, Fedora made Compis 64-bit. That Nitro Pro Max is a 64-bit. It can run both, 64 and 32-bit. I was thinking, I think some of these newer machines won't run the, like say the i386, that one on the bottom there. I'm not sure if it'll run that, but that one will. I've ran both on it. I didn't even realize it was a 64-bit till the other day. So I've run both on it, and the Debian Live runs fine. So it may be more to do with how they're made and their abilities to boot straight from the ISO. Because I know when you set up the installer, it has to do a lot of things, make about 3 partitions and do all kinds of things. So the only way to get a good install stick out with Fedora ISOs now is to use the Fedora Media Writer. The best way. They say that it does support some other writers, but like Unet Bootin, what I used to always use, it doesn't support it anymore. And but anyway, it couldn't. It looked to me like they weren't. I got what I call the matrix code. It just looked, just a bunch of letters on the screen on both of these. And this one booted and worked just fine. So, which brings me back to if it's not going to work well and it's not going to be convenient once I get it done, if it won't do Fedora ISOs, then I don't even want to use it anymore. I mean, the whole reason I liked it so much is I could just copy ISOs over to it and use them. And I had to keep in mind they're not good for installing, just for live. Use it for rescue system most of all, or just for trying things out. You know, if you want to try something out on a hardware machine instead of just in VirtualBox real quickly. But if Fedora ISOs just won't work in it anymore, then, and this is the newest version, I downloaded it the other day, then I may not want to use it anymore. We'll see. Another thing is, if I have trouble, can't get this file permission thing straightened out on the SD card, then I noticed it said it's actually presenting it to the machine as a hard drive. Now I'd already been thinking about maybe using that 20 gig hard drive, like putting it on there. And I could do that and use my adapter. The only thing is I can't stick it in my pocket and carry it with me like I have been able to do. I mean, I stick it in my watch pocket to make sure I don't lose it, you know, in my jeans. But anyway, let's just get both of these in the same directory now. So this is the unzipped, easy to boot. So it should have the file permissions that I want. Let's see. Let's get the README file opened up, and that way I won't. Let's see. I don't know if I want where to put files. README where to put files. I think the README file that I want is going to be over there on the in that other folder. But let's just kind of go through so that I don't make mistakes. Okay. To make another ETB USB drive, run make ETB drive. Yeah. As I mean, that's in Windows, and I want to do it in Linux. So to add files, just copy them. Windows file. Let's see. It says to add files, ISO, IMA, IMG, bin. So you can use other types of files. To ISO menu folder. Of course, they have like antivirus. I used to have a bunch of antivirus on there and all kinds of things before I restarted redoing it. Windows and stock files must be copied to the correct subfolder like Windows 8, Windows 7, and so on. Make the file contiguous. This is where I'm stuck. I can't get the defrag to work on the thing. Keep getting permission denied, no matter what kind of defrag program I use. And you need to convert the ISO payload to a IMG-PTN file using for UEFI, which I don't use. I don't use that on any kind of machine. I only got one or two that's new enough to have that anyway. But you have to do something special. Okay, let's see. Always test using a real system, not a virtual machine. That's what I've been doing, just to be, because it may not always work in the VM. Okay, now, so this is more the easy to boot hard disks. When you need to make it set it as a fixed disk, I forgot about that. Oh, if it shows up as a fixed disk, then you need that helper. Okay. So you don't really want it to show up as a fixed disk. Okay. There's a lot to this. It's full. It's got fantastic documentation, but there's so much and so many things you have to get right. Yeah, config ISO file, the one. And if I'm going to boot any, well, I thought if your files are bigger than that, you're just going to have to make that file bigger. But if they're all contiguous, then you don't. But you can still try to boot a file that's not contiguous by enlarging this file that's bigger than 500 megabytes. And actually, all my ISOs are bigger. I didn't try that because I wanted it to work right. I wanted to be able to run make files contiguous. I'm getting tired of trying to read all this in the video. Okay. So there's even more. This is pretty good at kind of narrowing it down to the really important stuff, this text README file. It's all mostly about the Windows stuff, though, Windows utilities. And let's see, where to put the files. Let's just see what that says. Why does that keep coming up? Copy your payload file, so-and-so. Copy a Linux live CD file to ISO menu folder and then run make this drive contiguous. Anyway, I just went through that about where to put them on that. Windows have to go in the correct folder. Normal menu folders. I think it says you can make your own menu folders if you want. I don't read this before you try it. So it's got plenty of folders. Every type of folder that I can organize it. It makes it real nice and organized, like antivirus and antivirus, Linux and Linux, and of course, like they say, the Windows have to be in Windows. And there's a Win folder too, and that's where I put like my Hiron's boot CD. Has kind of a portable Windows XP set up in it. Really good for rescue stuff. Of course, it's really out. A lot of it's really outdated now, but it has some antivirus stuff and stuff on there, but that's pretty outdated. But the disk working stuff is still usable on there. Okay, so that's all about where to put stuff. Now, trying to see where that pimp my drive. What is that? I thought that I guess the one that you make it with, if you're going, okay, so if you're going to make it in Windows, you run, seems to be different. It doesn't have some of the files in it. Maybe they're all, maybe I moved them here because it told you to. Pimp my drive. Text. It's actually a text file. Okay, so, docs. Make an easy to boot drive. Okay, so here we go. The Windows, maybe they're in there. The Windows CMD files, make E2B drive CMD. That's the one you'd use if you're going to run this in Windows. And there's some others. I'm just making a new one right now, so it won't go. I think, okay, you can't run this from the drive you're on, that you're making it on, right? And that's, you'd have to, like if I ran it from here, I think I did it on Windows. I started trying to do it on Windows 8, and I did it, and I used the executable and it went ahead and installed an installer program in Windows XP. That'd be easier. But you can run this, but then you're going to have to point it to where your USB stick, stick or your SD card and the USB adapter in my case. And let's see. Docs, Linux. Now remember this now, Linux utils. This is the way I did it and how I'm going to go ahead and do it again. Now, again, this is in my downloads folder. And so I can run it from here, and then I point it to the correct drive that I want to build it on. And so, I'm going to get the README file opened up. Here we go, README. And I know I'll have to change the file permissions on the file. The sh shell script, sh for shell script. This is the one that will install it in Linux. Format it to FAT32. Okay, now I had to do this. I had to run it. It tells you can just run /fmtsh. If you run into a problem, then it'll tell you to write. Well, it says sudo bash. I always just su and get rid of privileges, but you run it as bash sh, and then you gotta tell it where the drive is and make darn sure you get that right, or you'll be reformatting your hard drive on your machine. And I'm going to leave that right where it is. Move it over to the right. so I can get to it quick. Okay, now I know it says you got to do the file permissions. Well, I'll go down there in the file and see what it says. Let's see. If you're doing an NTFS drive instead of, and you don't really want to do that. Everything doesn't work right on an NTFS formatted drive. You want it to be FAT32. So, but you can. That tells you how to do that. Now, the warning, the script will damage, your the input if you put the wrong device in there. So extract, which I've already done, extract your file, and what I was talking about earlier, it must be, the documents folder needs to be on the ext2, 3, or 4 volume. Well, okay, I thought that could have been a problem on my Fedora 28, but it's not. The problem is that it's a 64-bit system, but now I'm on the Debian. This is a Debian 8 32-bit system. So now I know it'll work because I did the other day. I keep saying yesterday, but it was the other day. Click on the target drive. This mounts it and makes it easier to find. See if it can stay mounted while you do this. I don't think it can. It says click on it and it mounts it, and then it makes it easier to find. Click on it where? I'm not sure where. It's already mounted when you plug it in, Usually, when you want to format something, you usually have to unmount it. But this script might unmount it for you. Find the ISODocs folder. That's where I'm at, and that's how I got this. This is all in their website, too. It's harder to find everything, but it's kind of spread out. And it says you can click on it and select the open in terminal, but I go ahead and just type in the command so I can make sure I get all the readout and see what's going on if I have problems. Should open up a bash shell. Bash command shell. Now type sudo chmod 777 sudo. I don't know why they have those in two separate commands, but anyway, fmsh. Now I'm going to do that. Change the file permissions. I'm going to do all those shell scripts here in Crusader. That's a lot easier to me than typing out commands. Select them, hold down Control so that I can select all of them. Go to permissions. Now they're already the way. A lot of times I like to make owner and group can read and write, because then you have less trouble sometimes. But I'm going to leave them like they are unless I have trouble. But it's already got the permissions I would expect, because before I had not forbidden, and that was what I'm pretty sure that was what was wrong. This is kind of confirming. When I expanded that unextracted that zip file onto my Seagate backup drive and then just copied that already unzipped folder onto here, it messes with the permissions, probably because that's an NTFS drive and Linux and NTFS handles permissions differently. So I think that's probably what it is. Especially with well, I was going to say when it's a drive, but I didn't copy a drive. I just copied the folders that were extracted onto this hard drive. So anyway, executable, and that I didn't have trouble with. I was able to make them executable. It was the see, now it's executable just like I want it to be. So what I had trouble with was the defragging it, make files contiguous. Okay. Then when you run this command, which I already copied into my clipboard here, make sure you select the device, dev SDC or whatever it is. And to ensure that your USB drive will boot in a variety of computers, ensure that your drive contains 2 primary partitions. Some bad BIOS need 2 primary partitions in order to boot USB drive correctly and as a hard disk. So it's booting it as a hard disk. That's actually a key thing to know. And then the defrag is the next thing. Okay, so now we're ready to try and build it. So I'm going to go ahead and get on that drive. I don't know, it's not always good to be on it. Uh-oh. Let's go back to where we were. There we go. Now, let's get back to where we were. Okay, now I'm not going to open up the terminal or anything here. I'm kind of confusing myself. I'll just make them both in that folder that I want to work in. Let's put my instructions. Thought I wanted them there, but now I want them back where they were. Put them on the same workspace as that. Okay, now I want gparted open up. Last time I didn't. Doesn't want to switch now. I guess I gave it too many commands. Let's go over here and look at our. Yeah, that's still working good. Still got a good stream, I think. Let's look again. Yeah, good stream. Okay. Now, last time I had to install gparted on this system. Didn't have it, but now it's there because I already installed it. I'm really hoping I've figured it out right, because if I haven't. I see the easy to boot, the 5.2 gigabyte volume is mounted, and so is easy to boot. This is my it says the NTFS. I thought, is that the backup drive? But no, this system I had forgotten. I left the Windows install on it and just filled the rest of the drive with the Bane 8. So I think it's full of viruses and I need to reformat it, but I don't remember now. So I'll have to try. It's not in the boot menu. I'll have to redo grub, get it in the boot menu. That's not coming up. Let's see. Oh, it's jumping too fast. Okay, there we go. Now, see, here's my drives. Now, I don't think. Actually, this one here, I already got to thinking, okay, it shows up as a number, when you see it, E77. I wanted something that I'll know what it means. So let's see if we can, yeah, I can't, where's the label? Flags, that's just boot and not boot and all that stuff, RAID or whatever. Information, yeah, the UUID, I'm going to change that. Let's go ahead and, this is just kind of like while I'm at it. I'm going to unmount it, and then maybe I think it won't go away out of gparted from what I remember from the other day. So I can still work with it. Actually, I think it's better to have it unmounted. I mean, like I said, that script might look for it and see if it's mounted then unmounted, but I'm not sure. Manage flags, check. Oh, I don't want to check it. Undo that. Don't need to do that. Okay. I guess the label is up here at the top. Sometimes when you start messing around with labels, I've seen it like mess things up, mess up your partition. Let's see. Huh. Maybe you can do it on hard drives or at least, but not on SD cards. I just wanted to change the UUID, or they used to just call it the label. Oh, up there it says. Try it one more time. Maybe I'm missing this. Check information. Maybe if I switch to another window and back, it'll cause it to refresh. Yeah. UID, label, yeah, okay, label, that's blank, and then UID. I may not mess with that because it seems to be, I've done it before. But the thing is, I'm always reformatting I used to do it to my USB drives to make them easier to identify when they're in the machine. Because if I have two identical size SanDisk, create a partition label. It's currently active on the device. Unmount, so okay, so I got to unmount both of them, not just that one. Well, it's SDB1 is the one we're going to put. It's going to be our, redo our easy to boot. SDB2 is the one we're going to. Let's unmount it. I was going to do that anyway. I was just kind of afraid it would go away and I'd have to unplug it and plug it back in. But I think, well, from those instructions, I'm guessing that their install script will unmount it for you to make it all work right. Because I know it's going to reformat it, so it has to be unmounted to reformat it. But I thought, well, I'll just do it in here. Sometimes it helps to disconnect and reconnect. I guess I should try that. Maybe it'll get better. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it makes no difference. I do hear the machine working pretty hard. That could be one thing. Let's go ahead and that didn't make any difference. Go ahead and make sure my stream's okay. The stream's good. I'm going to close the web browser altogether. Give it a little break because I do have, you know, I had the web browser. I have the Departed running. I've got Crusader running, and I got. Guess it won't hurt to switch since it's not refreshing anyway. So I've got four. I had 4 applications running. That's quite a bit for that 1.6 gigahertz machine. Okay, now let's see if we can. It didn't switch good. Well, at least you can see it. It's just got other stuff in the background. So manage flags, check. Still doesn't have label down here. There it is, label, but it's not. Was that always there? I guess I can't do that. That's what I'm guessing on that. You know, this SDB2. Create a partition label. Oh, that says it'll erase all data on the disk. Okay, so I'm not going to mess with that anymore. All I need to know then is that dev SDB1 is where I want to write easy to boot. So let's just do it. Get over here in Crusader. I guess I could close dev. Well, I like to leave it open so that I make darn sure I don't write, you know, get anything wrong. I'm real bad about forgetting. So this is both the same folder, so I'm going to click in the folder, and when you do that and use this open in current directory, open terminal in current directory, and I did figure out that this is a bash shell that we're getting here. So I'm going to do SU to get root privileges. Okay, I like the older way. It shows the whole line of exactly where you're at instead of just the last part of it. You can probably change that, but I noticed in Fedora 28, Crusader's bash terminal is showing just the last, like the last folder name. Okay, paste in there. Okay, yeah, bash fmsh, but I just need to tell it. Oh, okay, I do this and then it'll ask me. I guess I could put it in there ahead of time, but the instructions say to run this and then it'll ask you. Okay. So I just hit enter to run it after I pasted it in there. Please wait, EQB, auto run INF, so-and-so, so-and-so. This requires a bash shell, so-and-so, so-and-so. Okay, now that says the target device, dev SDA5. Is that correct? No, that is not correct. Okay, enter the partition that you want. Dev SD, see I want to make sure, dev SDB1. I like to be able to copy and paste, but I can do it. Dev SDB1. Dev SDB1. Go back here, hit enter. Now then, partition 1, formatting dev SDB1. I'm going to hit yes. Y for yes. Now it's doing it. And I was fixing to go there and close gparted, but let's watch what it does here, even though it's a little bit messed up. Okay. See, it says mkfs.fat, making the partition, mounting dev SDB1 as mount myUSB, installing grub, myUSB what it's called, so it's mounted over in mount directory. Installing grub for those, success, copying everything over there. And it's still working on that. It hasn't gone to the command prompt yet. I'm going to go ahead and close gparted just to, you know, ease up the work this machine's having to do. And I remember it took a little while to finish up. It's copying the files. Copying, yeah. And, you know, well, you saw how long it took to expand it, unzip it. So, you know, it's take probably around the same amount of time to copy them over. And they're not zipped either anymore, you know, so it'll take even longer maybe. But, so that's what it does. It formats it for you. This little script, this is the script that they built for you, and that's shell script, an SH script. You just, it asks you where to go, which is kind of cool. Instead of you having to make sure you put it in ahead of time, you probably could just put it in ahead of time, but, you know, I'm just going to follow the instructions and have less potential for error, especially with this one. Yesterday, I was following the instructions to a T, I thought, but I had messed up with the way I've ran into it before, and I've done it before. The way I copy, I unzipped it on the drive earlier, and then just copied that unzip folder. Well, that doesn't give you the right permissions. Well, hopefully this is right. You know, I mean, I know that's right, but is this going to fix my problem on the SD card? I don't know, because I read on the site there are problems with SD cards. Okay, it's doing please await flushing the write cache. Okay. So this is looking just like it did yesterday. I didn't have any trouble doing this part right here. Once I quit trying every other way to do it and did it in trying to do it on the Fedora system, trying to do it in my XP virtual machine. And there's just something weird about that, because like my Fedora 423 system with the same exact XP virtual machine, it could mount and work USB drives, unless it was doing USB drives but not the SD card. That's the only other thing, you know, that I just forgot that or something. Okay, so it says it fails. You can do so-and-so. Fdisk cannot open. Oh, fdisk, which is cannot open. Dev SDB, no such file or directory. No, for best boot compatibility, ensure second primary partition exists, which I have. The second partition can be very small, does not need to be formatted. Use pseudoperl downloads, easy to boot, ISO docs. Linux utils defrag, right? Media multiboot F to defrag this volume. Now I tried running that command yesterday. Let's see. And now it's done. You know what? I think I didn't. Well, I guess I tried it without sudo, because I'll just try. Usually, if you try sudo when you're already issued as root privileges, copy that, then it'll give you an error. Let's see what happens. Did I paste that in there? What? What am I looking at here? Something seems different but off from what I was wanting to do. It may still be working, because now I thought I saw that it was at the, I had the number sign to show him that I was at the back at the bash shell, but defrag this volume, done home, easy to boot, it'll be unzipped, so bash. Oh, it put that back in there again somehow. Well, no. That's the command used to create it. I think maybe it didn't copy what I was trying to copy, so it pasted. Yeah, it pasted the last thing in there. Okay. Didn't copy like I was trying to do. You should be able to do that. Try again. Right click, copy. See if it worked this time. Yeah, now that time it worked. I'm going to hit enter and see if it'll run. Let's see. The thing is, it says it's in media multi-boot. Now, where did it say it was going to be earlier? I thought it said mount my USB. So I don't think that would do anything. No such file or directory. So this is what I had to figure out before. What I'm going to do is, and what's cool about this, I'm going to save this output so I can review it if I need to later. And I don't know if I want to save it. I'm not going to save it on here. I'm going to save it on the machine. I don't even have any folders built in here. Let's see, what command is that? FMT, yeah. There. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'll leave this open so I can find where it is I want to go. Wait, I need to know where it is. And I found it last time, so yeah, let's just go find it. Just go back to the very root of the whole system. It's in media. Dawn. It's not there. It said mount. Let's go to mount. Now my USB, there's nothing there. There's just a folder there. But where it went last time was media. Let's just stay in media. CD-ROM, of course, is nothing. And Debian still uses the media and mount folders in Fedora to run this and that. Okay, so I think what I need to do, and that's kind of something you need to do anyway. Yeah, see, it's not even showing up. It made that mount folder, but it's not in it. So I'm going to unplug it and plug it back in. Now it should mount back up, and I should see both. Yeah, see, it's opened up the folders even. So there's my 5 GB drive that I already put a few folders into. Now this one, it wants you to have root privileges. Yep. It didn't do that last time when I built it like before that I remember. So anyway, here it is. It's all built. And but I'm not going to work in this file manager. I'm going to work in Crusader. So now here we go. We've got it's oh, that's that NTFS drive with the Windows on it. Easy to boot. Okay, now there's my easy to boot. There's my 5 GB that I tried to rename but couldn't, but that's all right. So what I need now is to go ahead and open up a terminal in here. That way I won't have to type such a long address. Either way, I mean, it makes it easier most of the time. Where's my terminal? Have I got too many terminals open now? Yeah. So I'm going to close that first one I was using. Get this one. Okay, now then. Get it to root privileges. Now, that command is not going to be exactly right. Okay. Oh, okay. Media Dawn easy to boot. Oh. Sudo Perl. Oh, that's where I'm at. Sudo Perl. Downloads easy to boot. That's this thing I'm going to run. But it's going to do it on media multi-boot. That's going to be wrong. We'll just prove that. No such file or directory. All right. So we'll go back in there. We need to change that to where we're actually at. Now I can select that, and if you hit in Crusader, if you hit Control-C, it'll copy it. If you try to right-click, you'll lose the highlighting. So I need to get rid of media multi-boot. Can't do Control-C in the terminal though. I'll just hit Edit Paste just to make sure I hit the right spot. So I only have one space in there, one space in there. Now that should be right. That should be what I want to do it on. Can't open Perl script. Root downloads. Oh, it says root. Okay, we don't want, it's not in root. Why does it think it's in root? I guess just because Oh, I see. Thinks it's that squiggly line. Yeah, that squiggly line there. So what we need is we know that I unzipped it to home. Just go ahead and go there just to home down downloads. Actually, let's just copy it so that I get it right. Okay, when I hit my up and down arrow keys, it changes my command, but I want it to be having trouble finding the. Okay, there's my number sign. Sudo Perl on downloads. So if I click up there, is it going to let me do it? It's kind of weird. Yeah, I want it like that, but for some reason, oh, you got to use your arrow keys. And then, oops, I don't want to get rid of Perl. Yeah, I'm going to do edit paste just to make sure I don't slip my spot. Home done downloads, easy to boot. Home done downloads, easy to boot. This is why I don't mess around in the command line unless I have to. Now, I really don't think I want sudo. Let's take it out. I've had more trouble with leaving it in there than taking it out because I'm already SU for root privileges. Perl, home done downloads. Now that should find it and run it. Let's see. Defrag FS. Can't open script. No such file or directory. All right, now the way I tried to do this the other day was probably much easier. So let's do that. Copy that. I'm going to go into the folder and run it from there. Because getting that syntax right, it just twists my brain around. I do have to find the right folder, though, don't I? And I've already forgot what folder it said. Should have left that open. You need some place to paste that. Oh, let's just open up that. I've already got that, so I can go to my home directory, go to my documents. It's in there, isn't it? Thought it was. Where did I just save that? There. Oh, there was a folder. I just didn't realize where I was at. Okay, so we'll save this, and I think the last thing I try to run will tell me where that is. Yeah, sudo Perl. Download easy to boot. Okay, ISO docs Linux utils defrag fs. Oh, I knew where that was. I've been trying to run it forever. So ISO docs Linux defrag fs. It should be in there. Yes. Did I go in the wrong folder? Let's look at that again. ISO docs Linux utils defrag fs. Oh, let's get on the SD card. Yeah, that's where I want to try to do it from. No, wait. Will that work? Can I run it from there? Let's try it. Because ISO doc. Yeah, there it is. Defrag FS. Okay, there's PL and defrag FS. I think this is the one. Let's make it executable. Pretty sure it's going to need to be executable. And it's a Perl script, I guess. So let's make both of those executable. I think usually in the case of when you have two files and one has a PL or something like that on the end, you're either going to have sh for shell script or no file extension at all. So I'm going to run defrag fs. Now we'll open up a terminal in this window. I open and terminal in Windows a lot, but it, like you said, I tried to do it with their, editing up their syntax, and I just couldn't get it straight. So now, to run that, it'd be // defrag fs space, and then I want to put where I want to run it. Now what I had been doing is trying to do SDB1, but actually I think it'd be better if I told it to run on the folders. Let's see, let's try SDB1 first. But it's, well, it said media, oh, I can do it that way. Media multi-boot. They're saying where it is. And I had been trying SDB1, but that might not be allowed. So do it like that. I think I need a space in there, but let's look. Yeah, see, it's telling you where it is. Defrag fs media multi-boot. Oh, and there's supposed to be an F on the end. Space -F. And then I think that's it. So anyway, this is basically what I'm going to be running here. Yeah, right here. The only thing I did to that, let's just copy it. Yeah, I'll put a dot and a / there and then run that. Now that way I can't, if I do it that way, I can know that I don't have any errors in my typing. Okay. Still got permission denied. Okay, but can I change the permissions on this thing? We'll just try it from Don, and if that doesn't work, I'll try it from... the only thing I have to do is the ISO folder. The rest of this doesn't have to be done, necessarily. So that might be what I need to do. Let's right-click on it, see if I can do the whole thing, though. Let's see. Permission, yeah, it still says forbidden and all that stuff. But that's not uncommon when you're at the root of a... I'm going to try it just to see, but I don't think it'll work. That's the root of the drive itself, the root folder for the drive as it's mounted. It probably just didn't do anything. Yeah. Okay, so let's see if I can change the permissions on the ISO folder. I'm beginning to think that I haven't figured this problem out. By that time it was working. It showed a little dialogue that it was working, but it didn't change anything. So, before I give up on that, I'm going to go as a root user. Didn't make any difference to do it in the terminal either. I really don't remember having, well, maybe once or twice I've tried something that I couldn't do in Crusader. Now I'm in Crusader root mode. I'll just go ahead and close the regular one because I need to minimize, work for the machine. Okay, let's see. All I really need is this folder, so still says forbidden. I could say others read and write. I'll just do that. Can view content just to be a little more safe. It's still going to be user Don though, so I should have been able to do it as Don. Let's see. Still can't do it. Let's see what happens if I try to do it on the Linux folder. That's the only one that really actually needs it the most. Maybe just one folder instead of all of them. It shouldn't make any difference, like I said. You should be able to do them all. I am hitting OK, aren't I? I always expect OK to be on the right. Well, it wouldn't be trying to work. Didn't do anything. So I'm still stuck. I could copy the files that I want over and then try to change the permissions on each file. I think I even tried that the other day, and couldn't do it. Okay, so I'm still stuck just like I was. Let's go in here and see if I can change file permissions on one of these folders. This is my, the file drive, the partition for files. It's the same thing. Forbidden, can view and modify content. Okay. Won't work. Okay. I would think that the machine I built this on would be more likely to allow me to do all this than the other machine, and I did try it in Fedora. There's one thing I haven't tried, media multi-boot. Let's see. Boot. ISOs. This is what I was thinking a while ago. Copy. Now, change that address of where it's going to do the work to just the ISOs folder. Right? Yeah. So, so I'm going to run Defrag FS. I'm already in the Defrag FS folder. Permission denied. And I did change. Let's make those in the same folder for now. Let's see. I changed Defrag FS to executable, right? That will give you permission denied. Thought I changed it to executable. Maybe it was executable and it didn't work. Okay. It needs to be executable. I'm pretty sure about that. So, and I'm en route too. I was able to change my, this one to executable. Now it's not executable. So I'm having some sort of problem with changing these things to executable. You know what? Sometimes you think I've been doing this as root because I thought I had to. But a while ago I changed that as executable as Dawn and I had no trouble. Let's go back to Dawn and see if I'm all wet and funny about that. Let's close everything. I think I better open up my, let's just go ahead and open it up over here since I'm worried about running too much on that machine. And since I got to wait for it to open it up anyway, maybe it'll open up faster on the faster machine. Check my stream. I haven't checked it lately. Coming in awful slow. See, for all I know, I've completely lost my stream and my connections and everything, and I wouldn't know it. So, shows to be good, but it's loading a bit slow there. I know I've completely lost my stream and okay, so that's all right. I think I'll leave it open while I'm. I can pause it though. There's no needing it just playing. Okay, so it's back into Crusader again. Easy to boot. And DO documents. I wonder if let's see. You know, when I changed those permissions, that was on my drive, wasn't it? I wonder if I could run it from my drive but point it at the SD card. We'll try that next. Let's see if we can change these permissions first. Docs, Linux. Defrag. I'm going to try to do both of the Defrag FS files. Udefrag. Let's go ahead and do that one. That's a program. The .com files, I'm not sure, so I'll leave them alone. It's not telling you to do anything with them, so. Executable. Okay. Now let's see. And what we're trying to run is Defrag FS. It's not executable. Okay. So I'm not able to change the file permissions on this thing at all. So let's do to my download. Oh, but that's where I was successful, is changing the file permissions to the in here. I bet you when I look at it, it'll still be executable. Still executable. Okay, so those I changed, all of the shell scripts with no problem. So my file permission must have been that I just can't run that program that from the SD card. And I can't change the permission so that it will run. I don't think I can do it anywhere on the SD card, which doesn't make sense because let's go ahead and get Defrag FS going. Let's see. Udefrag I know is part of the Defrag program stuff, so let's leave that. I mean, go ahead and make it executable if I can. Executable. Now let's see if Defrag FS is executable. Yes. All right. Now there's my problem with I can't do it on the SD card. Maybe this is something I'm supposed to already know. I don't know now. I swear I've been able to do it before, but I guess not. So really, well, I still do know I've had problems with the whole thing I thought I had figured out. I do know that can cause problems. Now let's see if I can run it from here and point it to here. I'll have to get that command again, I guess. Let's see. Well, actually, no, I think all I need to do is put -F on the end. Okay, so let's open a terminal here. And let's see. Oops. I can't type. I'll just copy and paste it just to make sure I don't mess it up. My fingers are going. I know that's a short word and it's easy, but my brain and fingers aren't cooperating right now. So copy. Okay. // Defrag FS space. Now, I guess I should look at the instructions again to make sure, but this is what I think I need. Space F. Whoops, not an equal, -F. Now let's go look at the instructions one more time before we read me text. Before we commit to doing this. Defrag, there we go. Yeah, sudo. See, there's another where I was looking at last time. I was getting all that out of the terminal, but right here, I think it was trying to do it for you is what all that was. But use Defrag FS, and they think it's going to be mounted in, well, I think new USB may be like an example, but it's not mounted in Debian here. It's mounted in Fedora. And it used to in Fedora, I think it usually was mounted in, it went back and forth depending on what kind of drive it was. But anyway, okay. The command for the program space address, then -F. I believe is what I have there. Okay. File defrag not found. Okay, it worked. or it ran. Call defrag not found. The selected directory contains no file. Okay. Oh. Okay. So let's try the same thing. Now, first I need to put, you know, an ISO in there. Oh, well, I need to put ISOs in there. Okay, so I think maybe it's going to run, but I need an ISO in there. Well, I can copy. I'd rather copy them on the new machine, but let's just put one Fedora ISO in there and see. I may have to go to the ISOs folder, but let's just leave it just like it is. And yeah, leave everything as it is. And oh, that's the 32-bit. Okay, so this is the one we're going to do. This is the one we're trying to do. We don't have NTFS. Okay, so I want to plug my USB drive. There's another USB on the back of this thing. I still have more USB. I don't see how you could run the program on this thing with all those permissions the way they are. But I did write it as Don, and this is the machine I wrote it on and all that, so I guess. See if it's mounted yet. It is mounted, but my desktop is not responding too well. Let's close it and open it back up, see if that'll fix it. Sometimes the session just gets tired, I guess. Sometimes I guess the network connection gets tired. Whoops, that is not what I meant to do. I think F11 will get me out of there. I didn't want it full screen. I just wanted to make it fit that window. Okay, so yeah, there we go. So the Seagate drive, it's on top of one of these others now. That's where it was last time. I guess it wanted to go back to the same place. So everything's mounted up. Now, what did I wanted the Seagate drive so that I could copy some stuff. So let's put this one over on the right. Get into the regular ISOs folder, Linux. Okay, see there's nothing in there in that, but I think the reason it said there was nothing in the folder, well, there's something in the folder. I pointed it at the root of the drive. There's all kinds of files in there. At least I thought it did. So anyway, let's just copy something to be defragged. And the last time I put 3 in there, but I'll just do 1 to see if it's going to work first. That was the wrong. There it is, 4.5 terabytes. Linux, Fedora. Let's go ahead and get. I think I had to. I want a 32-bit. It's one of the first things I want. Well, I don't guess it actually matters. But Fedora make conpiz 686. Live security is a good one for a live system. I mean, that's something I install all the time, and it's good. It's good, but live security has XFCE desktop, which is lightweight, and it'll run on older machines real good. And the net installer. I don't need any installers because you can't install good right. It just won't work right to try to install from this easy to boot setup. So let's do the i386. Yeah, let's not. Let's do security. There is a lot of stuff on there, but most of it's command line tools. Yeah, since I'm not going to be installing from it, I might as well do live security. Because it's got, I don't know, there may be some things in Mate Desktop, just standard things that are easier to use. But what I end up doing really with it is just trying to fix a broken hard drive or scanning something for viruses or something like that. And some things are easier to do in Mate, but things like running gparted and all that pretty much doesn't matter what desktop. So let's just get this one on here right now. See, it's 1.4 gigabytes, so that config ISO is only 500 megabytes. It's actually only 470 something megabytes showing up on the machines. I've saw that several times. So I just copied that over to this drive. I didn't copy it to the SD card. I copied it to the downloads folder. I just now realized that. And that shouldn't be needed to be done. You know, I should still have the right file permissions. But let's just make them equal now and go to the drive that I want to go to. Media. On. Easy to boot. ISO. I don't know why they put that underscore there. Makes it, you can't use the keyboard easily to copy. I'll copy it and then probably delete that out of there. I don't think there's any need to leave that on there. I don't normally install the live security. If I was going to install, like if I wanted to use this to burn an installer or something, it wouldn't be live security. It'd be Mate Desktop. Or I guess I'm going to move on to 29 now. If it's I don't know if it's still in beta, I won't. But if it is, like when I do Mom System, maybe I'll go ahead and do 29 if it's completely released. Yeah, easy to boot ISO Linux. And see, I'm so used to this for all these years, since 2005, I think. Yeah. All of a sudden this year, I guess no, it wasn't that way for Fedora 23. It was Fedora 28 is the first time I noticed it. I jumped from 23 to 28. So, I mean, I kind of messed around with them, but I didn't install, any of the ones in between. But this, and see if I did more copies at once, and it would open up more little windows like this. And it tells you a lot more information. It tells you what's going on, exactly. And when you just got that little blue status bar up there, I forget to look at it, and I think it's not working. And I really miss that. I wish I could. I wonder if there's a way to turn it back on. I don't know how I would do that. I know how to try and look, look and see. Well, it's getting hot today. It's got up to 75 outside, and the heater was on last night, so air conditioner ain't running. Well, it doesn't really need to be, but I got my window wide open, but it's 80.6 degrees in here right now. It's not enough breeze to cool me off. It was big, quite a bit of wind blowing earlier, but it was cooler. I was fine earlier. I'm spoiled. I like nice temperatures. Okay. It seems like, yeah, it is taking longer. It does take longer to write to this SD card from that USB drive than it does to write to the hard drive. Notice long enough you can kind of notice it, you can feel it, But let's check our stream again and make sure everything's good with that. Oh yeah, you got to reload it because I stopped it. I really do like having that stream playing on the laptop all the time and being able to just unmute it to make sure everything's working. So I don't have to go through all this. I really do like stream playing on the laptop. See if you pause it, and then when you play it again, time to able to it starts where it left. You have to reload it in order to get it to back to where you're at now. So it's done now. I just got to wait till it completely finishes. Hasn't even shown up over there yet. There we go. Okay, now I don't know if I want to delete that. Let's just wait for a minute until I'm sure what's going on. I'm afraid I'll forget and leave it in there is the thing. Okay. Okay, so let's see what I pointed it to last time. I pointed it to Defrag FS, Media, Don, Easy to Boot, and F. So we can just bring that back up with the up arrow key. That should do the whole thing. We'll see. Easy to boot. Now I may have to go into the ISOs folder. We'll see. Yeah, same thing. See if it'll go into the ISOs folder and then crawl through the directories. I could try running the other, what is it, F2S something that I found. Let's see. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, yeah. But I pointed it. I'm running from there, but I'm pointing to. Okay, so we'll just change our. We have the right folder here. Copy. So we'll change the target directory to where we want to go. Oh, this one. What's all of a sudden? I don't have a number sign. I have a dollar sign. Some terminals give you a dollar sign instead of a number sign. Threw me off there. Okay. I delete that address and just paste in the one that I want. Okay, now we're going into ISO-F. Select a directory, analyzing in progress, .d, select a directory contains no file. Why doesn't it recurse all the rest of the directories? Doesn't make sense. And besides that, I just realized I copied it straight to the directory I'm in, and it does contain the files. Unless it's still, I'm doing something wrong here and it's still pointing to the, okay. Oh. No? Okay, yeah. Okay, it may be in downloads easy to boot unzipped. Let's do it. That squiggly line at the beginning of the command there, that's putting me, I guess, no, I'm in home Dawn, so that should be okay. Before, when I was in root Crusader mode, okay, now it's doing it like that again, but the selected directory contains no files. At least it's running. I might look into help and see if I can see a switch that I need or something. Defrag FS. Oh. try this first. Help defrag FS. Try help man K. That's what I was thinking I'd probably have to do. I think I already tried that and it just has no information. Yeah, doesn't have any information. Okay, so save output as. Now, if you go real long in your terminal, I like this console, but if you go real long, then you'll lose the beginning of what you did. Trying to get to, there we go, documents. I guess that's where I was at. No. Where did it save it last time? Got too many separate folders for the same thing. I don't know why I have so many either. Let's see. Maybe I missed it. Maybe it was this one. Nope. Well, that would be the one that would make sense because that's the main. Yes. I can't help but do things the way I like the way they look. Okay, so now I'm going to try the program that I found. I think I'm going to delete that out of this folder because I just think it's going to be. I think it's just going to be taking up space for nothing. I'll forget it's in there. I'll put it up in there like that, you know. Wait. Yeah, let's go ahead and stay in the downloads folder. And then over here, stay in the easy to boot folder. Yeah. But I'm going to close Crusader. Well, if I stay there, I'll probably end up just put them both in the downloads folder for now. I'm going to close the app, so. I'm going to look in Synaptic. Let's go ahead and safely remove that so I can't hurt it. I don't know. Well, I'll try this first, but I do know there was information, but it was pretty much all command line commands to run. There was information on their website about getting around problems with your SD cards, but and it still may be that I don't have all the permissions I need. But it said it was running. It just said, and I don't think I screwed up on where I was pointing it, you know. So I don't think it was running it on the thing is, even if it was running it on the downloads folder, which I don't think I was, then there were still files in there, and I had to accidentally put the ISO file in that folder, so. Doesn't make sense. Okay, we'll go in Synaptic, and I bet you I'll find the defrag program that I found. It's for SD cards that I found in Fedora. If it'll be easy to find, like, you know, easy enough to find, that'd be cool. Okay, so I'm not finding. Not finding it. Okay. I think it was F2FS or something. I may have to get. Oh, I'm on the machine. Well, before. Well. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, F2FS. Let's go see. I guess my folders from where I ran it before will be. It also give me the commands. I think I saved my last work. Defrag FS. There it is. F2FS. Okay. Yeah, defrag.f2fs, dev_stc1. That's what I was doing. But I want F2FS. Let's see if we can. Now that I know what the program's called, maybe I'll find it on here. Surely it's available in the vein. There we go. F2FS tools. Didn't show. The searcher didn't find it by just searching for defrag, like it did. It did in DNF, but I had to keep searching over and over again until I searched by name. I think is what I did. Okay, so F2FS tools debug. Yeah, that's just for reporting. I don't need that one, but I do need that one. This is the one I want to try. F2FS tools. All right. Shouldn't take too long. Took forever on the DNF Dragora, but in here it shouldn't take too long. It's a very small app. Using Synaptic and Debian 8 on a 1.6 gigahertz laptop with 2 gig of RAM, as opposed to Fedora 28 on a 4 core with 4 gig of RAM. And look at that. That's the way it ought to be. That's the way it's always been, you know. Sometimes even faster, especially on a faster machine. But, okay, so, yeah, now I'm going to get in my, well, let's just, leave it right there. Get back in there. I just realized, but that's good. Okay, download. Let's go to the SD card. Easy to boot. Now I'll try to open up a terminal right here, and then I should be able to run it on that drive. And I'll go back over here to get my commands, because it took me a little bit to over here to get my commands. Let's move this away from there. Let's see. I think I'll close that, give this thing a little less to do, because I do have the browser open. Just unmute it to make sure everything's working. So I don't have to go through all this. I really do like that. Yesterday I did leave it, or the other day I did leave it running on the laptop and got away with it. But didn't seem like it wanted to let me do it today. Yesterday I did leave it. Okay, that's good. Okay, so yeah, defrag, F2FS. I think I need to put. I'll try. No, let's don't do it that way. Let's try to do the address that it has. Yeah, easy to boot. You know, the way they're showing to do it. That's the way they show to do it. They don't say put SDB1 in there. So defrag F2FS. No extra spaces or anything. Now get this. Oops, I tried to do it with the right click. That don't work. You got to highlight it with the left click and then control copy. Then you can paste it in there. Easy to boot. That should do the whole thing if it can do it. Defrag F2FS command not found. I guess that's not the command you use in Debian. Let's F2FS. Oh. Is it that way? Let's see. Man K F2FS. Make F2FS create an F2FS file system. Well, there was more to it in the Fedora. Let's see. Already did man K. Is that the only thing it will do in Debian? Huh. Okay. Man K. Did I have it typed wrong to start with? Nothing appropriate. Defrag.f2fs media. Well, I can put it in the Fedora system, see if I can run it in there, but I do know that you have to run. I can't seem to type right. F2FS. Hey, you can't just do that and get. Maybe I have to type bash. Let's see. There. Now I'll put bash in front of it. I think that would matter. No such file or directory. Huh. But that didn't give me the error I had the first time. What was the first error I had now? First error was, it said bash defrag F2SF command not found. So I had to put F on the end before. No such file or directory. Well, that was the other program. Dev SD B1. Let's make sure that's right before we do that. SDB1. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, defrag F2FS dev SDB1. No such file or directory. I'm looking at it. But when I said man K, man's for manual. I don't know what K is for. It just, when I said man K F2FS, all I got back was make fs dot F2FS. And it has an 8 there, and then I don't know what that means. Create an F2FS file system. All right, let's go try it in the Fedora system. I really don't know what else to try. This is really beginning to be more of a pain that I want to fool with. I mean, this has been, I don't know, 3-4 days, full days of trying to figure this out. If I wasn't actually live, actually making video and doing it, I was reading about it, you know. It's supposed to be convenient. And it doesn't take that long to just make your live boot deals, you know, as you, 10 to 20 minutes as you need them. It's just, well, there's one time when it's really, really great, and that's when you've got all of your virus and rescue, when you need to rescue something, all your rescue stuff on there and ready to go. Let's go to, I'm getting this set up to check my stream, you know, and I'll get off of, just get off of the remote desktop, you know, not make it work hard or use up network bandwidth. As soon as I get that off. Okay, now the stream was showing bad. Yeah, sure is. Well, it's almost 2 hours anyway, and I actually realized I could really stand a little bit of a break. So I will go ahead and do what's smarter instead of just keeping on going, and I'll take a break, reboot stuff, and then come back. And then this time I'll try it in the Fedora 28 I'll try Defrag FS on it in there. Maybe it'll help my brain to recuperate. Maybe I can get a little bit better idea what it is I'm trying to do. Yeah, this machine is showing that too. It just happened, I think. But I can try and disconnect. Go ahead and actually I disconnect up here, so I'll disconnect. There's no need in remote controlling the laptop. And but the stream is still in the yellow. It's still working, but it'll start caching, and it usually it can end up getting bad, getting worse. So I'm gonna just stop again. And today the internet must not be working all that great. What I'm figuring, even though I showed a good speed, that doesn't mean there aren't problems with my service. So I'm gonna go ahead and quit, reboot stuff, take a little break, and then come back and go at it again. All right, be back.